Hi, I'm Victoria with Level Knowledge LLC. Welcome to my channel. So today I want to talk to you about borrowers. So when it comes to residential mortgage underwriting, you have a borrower. So a borrower is actually an individual or an entity that is seeking to buy a home or refinance a home. You can have several borrowers on a loan, and then there's also a co-borrower. So co-borrower is any additional individuals whose income, credit, asset documentation is being used for qualification on the loan. So you can have several borrowers on a loan, and then you also have what is called a non-occupant borrower. So a non-occupant borrower is pretty much someone whose credit, income documentation is used for qualification, but they do not intend to occupy the property. So that usually happens when you have a parent that is co-signing for the son or daughter for a mortgage. Back in the day, that terminology used to be called a kitty condo. They no longer use that anymore. Now it's just called non-occupant borrower. But again, you can have several borrowers on a loan. I think there's some restrictions depending on the lender, where the loan is being done based on their guidelines and requirements, or even it could actually be due to software limitations. In my career as an underwriter, the most borrowers that I did on one particular loan was 8, and that's a lot. The most that you'll see is maybe 2 borrower co-borrower. You will have maybe 3 borrowers on a loan. And of course, please keep in mind that when there's anyone that's listed as a borrower on a loan, it's also listed in the note of the mortgage. That person was responsible to make payments to the loan, and of course, that line of credit trade line will show on the credit report. I actually prepared a small presentation just to break down some of the items that I just discussed. And if you have any questions or would like to learn more about mortgage underwriting, please visit highlevelknowledge.com for more information. Please stay tuned for the presentation. Okay, bye. Enjoy. Who is a borrower? So in residential mortgages, a borrower is an individual or entity seeking a loan to buy or refinance a home. You can have several borrowers on a loan. You could have a co-borrower. So that brings us to who is a co-borrower. So a co-borrower is any additional borrowers whose name appear on the loan documents. Also, the credit and income is used to qualify for the loan. And this person will also be on the note of the loan. And I do want to clarify that any borrower that is listed on a loan, they are also on the note for that loan, and they are responsible for that loan, meaning that that loan will appear on the credit report, and they are responsible to make payments to that loan. There's also another type of borrower that can be done on a residential mortgage, and that is a non-occupant co-borrower. So this is an individual whose credit and income is used for qualification. They have ownership in the property, but they do not occupy the property. This is actually very often when you have parents that co-sign for the son or daughter for a loan, meaning that their credit and the income is used for qualification. They will have ownership of the property, but they don't occupy the property. A few years ago, actually, there was a terminology that was used. It was called kitty condo. They no longer use that anymore, but pretty much this is usually, again, when the parent co-signs for the son or daughter for a mortgage. Also, as I mentioned before, a borrower and a co-borrower, if you are a borrower or co-borrower in a loan, you are also on the note for that mortgage. Loans can have several borrowers. You can have a loan with one borrower all the way up to, I've done files with up to 8 borrowers in it. Of course, there's lenders that have restrictions as to how many borrowers they will allow in a loan. But for the most part, usually the standard is like 2, 3 the most. But again, I've done a file with the had 8 borrowers. So anything is possible. If you are interested in more mortgage terminology, please visit highlevelknowledge.com. Thank you.